So in this video, we are going to create this fantasy environment inside Unreal Engine 5. I'm also going to show you how you can render this environment from Unreal Engine 5. So you learn about the cinematics and the sequencer and all of that stuff. Before we start, I would like to give a huge shout out to all the people who support the channel on Patreon. And before you follow this video, download the starter project, and the starter project contains all the assets that are used in this video, so make sure that you download that. So as I said, we are going to start from scratch. So I have just created an empty scene right here. The scene is totally empty, as you can see. So we are going to add some lighting elements. So first we are going to go under the lighting and we are going to add a sun lamp. So this is called the directional light. So just add the directional light, set the directional light to movable, and you can change the intensity of the light from here. After the directional light, you can add a skylight. So the skylight is responsible for indirect lighting. And after you have added the skylight, you can set that to movable. And you can turn on the real-time capture for the skylight. After the skylight, we need to go to the visual effects, and I'm going to add a sky atmosphere. So this is a basic sky atmosphere. So as you can see, nothing has changed. So we need to select the direction light, and in the details panel, you need to search for atmosphere and just turn on this atmospheric sun. You can press Ctrl L and then you can move your mouse to rotate the sun. Next we are going to go to visual effects and we are going to add an exponential height fog. Select the height fog, and in the details panel make sure that you change these colors to completely black. So the fog interscattering color should be black and the directional interscattering color should also be black. So make sure that you change these colors to black. After that, you can go to the project settings and you can search for atmospheric fog and make sure that you turn these settings on. After that, let's create a landscape. So just go to the landscape create panel, and as you can see, I've also downloaded a material, and I've got this material from the Quixel Megascans library. So just import that material and just assign it to your landscape. And after that, just create your landscape. And if you want, you can further tweak the lighting. So you can rotate the sun and everything. So if you want to make the texture not repeat, you can go here in the tiling options and you can just reduce the number. So as you can see, this looks pretty good. Next, we are going to go to create visual effects and we are going to add a post-process volume. In the post-process volume settings, search for infinite extents and make sure that you turn that on. Next, you can search for exposure and make sure that you turn on the minimum brightness and maximum brightness, and you can set those values to a value of 1. So that means your lighting will be constant, and after you have set that to 1, you can see that our scene has been darkened. So again, you need to go to the directional lamp and you can increase the intensity from here. Now I'm going to add a cinematic camera actor. So just add that. Right click and snap object to view. Next, you can go to the perspective view right there and you can select your camera. So now this is the cinematic camera view. And if you select the cinematic camera, in the details panel you have all of these settings. So I'm going to change the sensor size to 16:9 DSLR. And I'm also going to change the lens settings to a 85mm prime lens. And you can reduce the aperture to about 1.8. So that is going to give you a very good bokeh effect. After that, let's add a 3D model. So I'm going to add this model right here. And you're going to find all these assets in the starter project. You can change the focus method in the camera right here. change the focus method to tracking and just select your object. Now in the exponential height fog, you can always turn on the volumetric fog, and the volumetric fog will give you a very realistic look. So as you can see, everything is totally dynamic and this is looking pretty good. Now it's time to add some foliage assets into a scene. For foliage, go to the foliage panel right here and you will need to add foliage in this slot. So just select these tree assets and just drag them right here. Now make sure that only one of these tree assets is selected and you can select the single tool. This will allow you to place single instances of your mesh. And in my case, the scale of these trees is pretty big. So you can change the scale from here. So here you have a minimum scale and a maximum scale. So I'm going to change these values right here. And once you're happy with the settings, you can go back to the default perspective view and you can pretty much place these assets into your scene. So it's that easy. Make sure that only one of these assets is enabled at a time because you're using the single instance tool. So now simply place these assets into your scene. So I'm going to place these trees right here. So something like this looks pretty good. Now let's add some grass assets into a scene. So these assets are also from the Quixel Megascans library. So I'm using this asset right here for the grass. So just select these grass assets and just drag them right here. Select all of these grass assets and enable them. Make sure that you have selected the paint tool and you have all the brush settings right here. So I'm going to increase the density. And down in the foliage instance settings, I'm also going to increase the density to 512 and just click in the scene to add some grass. So our scene is looking pretty good. Now I'm going to show you how to animate this. So first of all, we need to create a cinematic. So go in the cinematics panel and I'm going to create a sequence. So just create a level sequence and you will need to save this. So after creating that, you will have a physical object in your scene. That is a level sequence. And you will have a sequencer panel right here. So the sequencer panel is where you animate things. So in order to animate the camera, just drag the camera from the hierarchy into the sequencer. Now you'll be able to animate all of these properties. So we are going to animate the transform. So just add a keyframe right here. Then go to frame 145 or something like that. And you can move your camera and add a keyframe. So that is going to create an animation. You can always select your keyframes and move your keyframes. You can also select multiple of them. And you can right click and change the interpolation. So if you don't like the interpolation method, you could always change that. So now let's animate the deer skeletal mesh. And this is a skeletal mesh. So we need to add an animation. So click on that animation button and just add an animation track. And you can move the animation track right here. And as you can see, this is how easy it is to create an animation like this inside Unreal Engine 5. So I'm going to show you two ways of rendering this. So the first way is to just click this button right here in the sequencer. And here you can define all the settings. So you can define the output image sequence. So just change that to a PNG sequence. You can define the resolution here. Enable the texture streaming if you want. You can select the output folder right here. You can disable these settings. You can choose to render a section of your animation. So you can define custom start frames and end frames. You can change the warm-up frames to 10 and you can change the delay before warm-up to 1 second. So after you have changed your settings, you can press that capture movie button. That will render this out. So this is the first way of rendering things. Now I'm going to show you a better way of rendering things. So you can go to the plugins and just search for Movie Render Queue. So turn these plugins on. After those plugins are turned on, go to Cinematics and turn on the Movie Render Queue. This will bring up the Movie Render Queue panel. And if you use the Movie Render Queue to render your animations, you are going to get a much better quality. So the way this works is, you'll have to add your animation sequence. So you can add your animation sequence right here. After that, you can click on the settings button. So you can just delete the JPEG sequence. And I'm going to add a PNG sequence. So just add that. Next we have the rendering. So just leave that to the default settings. Next we have the output settings. So in the output settings, you can define your output folder. You can define the resolution. You can also define the frame rate. So if you go to the sequencer, you can change the frame rate from there. And you have all these similar settings. So you can set the custom start frame and the end frame. So most of the settings are similar. After that, you can press the add settings button. And you can add an anti-aliasing. So this is where the Movie Render Queue is different from the sequencer. So this option will give you better quality renders. So you can just override this option and make sure that this method is set to none. And once you have done that, you can change the samples to anything you want. So you can basically change it to 32, 64 or 128. So if you set this to a value of 128 or something, you are going to get very high quality renders. I'll suggest you to set this to a value of 32 or 64. So let's verify our settings. So we are saving this as a PNG. We are using the deferred rendering pipeline. And under the settings, we have anti-aliasing. And in the anti-aliasing, I forgot to turn this on. So you can turn on the warm-up frames. So once you have configured your settings, you can save this as a preset. So if you have a lot of sequences, you can use the same settings for all those sequences. So you can save that and accept that. So as you can see, we are using our custom render settings. So after you have finalized with all the settings, you can press the render local button and that will render out your animation. So this is how easy it is to create something like this inside UE5. So I hope you had fun and I hope you learned something in this video. So if you did, please leave a like down below. Also subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. That's it. I'm going to see you in the next video.